Welcome, everybody. This is Lorette, and this is the Learning Tube. Thank you for joining us on this session. And in this session, we have a special guest with us today. So Joe Neal actually works with us. He is part of our POW social team. So as you know, we have a team in Jamaica, and he is the one who manages Alicia's LinkedIn account. So we actually asked him to join us today and share what he does with Alicia's LinkedIn account to help grow her account and to help get more clients. So Joe Neal is going to be sharing what he does. He's going to actually pull up, he's got some notes on tips for you, and then he is going to also show Alicia's account for some examples to show what he does as well. So you guys excited? You excited to learn from Joe Neal, learn more about how you can grow your LinkedIn. Now, if you are not on LinkedIn yet, that's totally fine. You can watch this, and when you do get on LinkedIn, you can use these strategies. If you're currently on LinkedIn, then you definitely need to start using what he's going to show. And you can also take what he's learning to help manage and get paid for to help manage other people's LinkedIn accounts. I know that's what many of you, because a lot of you are freelancers that are on here. So these strategies that you're learning, take note. Of course, there's always a replay, but you can use these strategies to get paid to manage other people's accounts. Like Joe Neal is getting paid because he's on our team to manage Alicia's account. All right, so here we go. Joe Neal, you ready to get started?
I am buzzing and ready to go.
All right.
Do you have the slides projected currently?
I have the slide that you sent me, but you can go ahead and pull it up on your screen because I know that you're going to walk through Alicia's pages as well.
Yes, I am. So just let me know if you're seeing my screen on your end.
Yes, we do.
All right. So good afternoon. Well, it's in afternoon in Jamaica after 1 p.m. Some of you are in EST, so it's after 2 p.m. and many other time zones, as Lorette just said. I'm so excited because the Learning Tube is such a great place for like-minded people, entrepreneurs, freelancers, and many professionals to come together and learn so much more about the online space. So as you know, Alicia, I'm going to show you her LinkedIn page, is on LinkedIn. And she has currently, I'm going to click my network. I'm going to go through everything as slowly as I can. But I just want to show you this first. She currently has over 25,000 connections on her page. Now, the fun thing about this is that it allows you to interact with a lot of different persons. Of course, the sad thing is that it is very difficult because there's so many persons to speak to, but I love it. And the reason why this happened is because of a lot of different strategies, which I'm about to show you, and just a little bit of fine tuning of the page that you have to ensure you do to make sure that you look like a professional one and that you engage and continue to promote yourself on the LinkedIn platform. So as you know, there are various types of social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube are probably the more popular ones. Pinterest is also fairly popular for its picture-based content. What makes LinkedIn a little bit more unique is that it is very structured specifically for professional-based connections. And currently, LinkedIn has maybe a little bit over 700 million followers on it. But because of the nature of the persons who are on it, it's very targeted if you're going to be doing something specific, especially business-wise or B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to customer. All right, so that's a little preamble. What we're going to cover today includes about 8 steps. You can still see my screen, correct, Lorette?
Yes. Do you want to put it in presenter mode? Present it?
Yeah. No, because I want to shift up and down between different things.
Okay, got it.
But let's keep it like this for now. So the first thing that you have to ensure you do is your landing page, so to speak, your profile page. The things that people would see the first time they start to visit and look at you has to be as professional, and it must have some sort of call to action for them to want to even send you an inbox message. So Alicia's profile, I'm going to click it now, has this profile image here, what they call a cover photo.
And Jonelle, I just want to
And
jump in real quick with the cover
yes,
photo. So one thing that we also wanted to make sure is that we were consistent with the branding. So this image right here is the same image that's on her website, this banner. And so therefore it's also on her LinkedIn, just so it has some consistency to it. So keep that in mind as well.
additionally, I believe it's probably also on our Facebook page. Well, the one that
Yes, it is.
Jamaica
You're right.
is.
It is.
Yes, yes, yes. So keep consistent in your branding. This is a gold and whitish logo. And as you can see, it has similar colors in the color scheme of what is on the cover photo. So nothing beats going onto somebody's page and you're not sure who they are, what they're doing, how they can help you. And Alicia's page is very direct. It says, let me help you build your own online empire. And it has her website address there, which Laurette just mentioned. And the profile picture is a little more, I guess you could say, laid back. This is a bit more professional, but in a fun way. And once you have this and this, it catches somebody's eye right away. But the next part is this section here, which is the section where the contact info and a little bit of a blurb about yourself is. And Alicia wrote, ask me how I can help you to build your online empire, helping digital agencies to get clients. And then she wrote some of the places that she's working at and things that she's doing, such as Internet Income Jamaica and Pulse Social Media, where I work, and Digital Agency Professionals, which is more in the United States. So think of how you can turn this area. Look what happens when you come onto the home page. When you come here and you hover over anybody, this is one of a close friend of Alicia for one of our clients. When you come here, it actually starts to show you some of the things that were written in this section, right? And as you can see, she has her image there. I'll go back to the page very quickly. So after you've done your cover photo and your profile image and you put the little blurb here, ensure that you fill out as much of, let me go to step 2, update your profile data comprehensively. And I don't mean you need to tell your entire story, your entire life story, but give as much detail so that somebody who's coming on your page, one, knows how to contact you. So most people don't even know, but when you click this, the contact info section, you can see and put, well, you're going to be putting it there. But if you go on somebody's page, you can see their websites if they have put it there, their phone number, email, Twitter, even their birthday. Alicia's birthday is coming up next week, Monday. And of course, her LinkedIn profile page. So put in all of those details. And when you scroll down further, there are some other things that you can put in, such as the experience, education, and skills and endorsements. So skills are just things that you are capable of doing online or in the offline world. Of course, Alicia is an internet marketing aficionado, and she does a lot of social media marketing. So these are the 2 top ones that are popping up on her profile, including entrepreneurship. And what happens is when you put this up on your profile, you see how many persons have started to endorse and like it and say, yes, this is something that Alicia does. So the more persons start to click this, whenever things in relation to these things in the hashtag version of LinkedIn pops up, you are more likely sometimes to be put into those search streams. Additionally, these people who are Alicia's friends, when they click and like or comment on one of her posts, because they're also in this section here, online marketing, social networking, entrepreneurship, and so forth, similar colleagues of these people will also see them liking or commenting on our post. So maybe I can look and find something that's similar like that. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that. So look at this. It says Apostle Charlene something commented on this. I don't believe we are following this person. It's actually when I hover over it, asking me to connect. But because this person is connected to Jocelyn, but also to us, her post pops up when he commented on it. So I hope you're understanding the power of the connections that are happening on LinkedIn. All right. So get your cover photo up, get your profile image up, get your blurbs up. Ensure you put in both your experience as well as your qualifications. Put in your skills, the endorsements, and people, you can actually even inbox persons and ask them to write recommendations for you, which are right here, as well as go to the My Network section and start clicking some interests, or you can search right here in the search box. Or some of the Damon John, of course, is one of the guys from Shark Tank, and of course he owns the Fubu Enterprises, big business owner in the United States. So whatever it is your interest is, or your touch of class or your flavor, go here, search for the places and the persons who are similar to you and what you do, and click their page, follow their pages, click on their interest and so forth. And what happens is when these persons make their posts, you know, can come here. Damon's post isn't popping up yet, but I can guarantee you that some of these pages, like Leadership First and so forth, we are already following, and we can actually go now and comment on them. So that's part of one of the next step now. So step 3, after you've updated your profile image, put in your cover photo, ensure that the entire section of your profile data is comprehensively updated. Ensure that you also now start to gain followers, either through adding persons from your current list or from engaging with the current LinkedIn audience. So when you look here, right, this is going to be interesting for many, because I'm pretty sure some have not seen this before. When you go into My Network, on the left, you will see these bits of sections over here in relation to some things that we have been doing. Groups we're in, events we have liked or gone to, pages that we've followed, hashtags that we're following. Of course, I showed you the connections before, and so forth. But further down, if it will just do what it's supposed to do. All right, so there's a section right here that will allow me to actually now put in contacts from my email list, and or I can actually just put in contacts from Facebook, even contacts from your Hotmail or your Gmail account. All right, see it here now, scrolling, right? So, whoa, not sure why it keeps bobbing up and down like that. But when you go here, you can click continue from this section. Whoa, stop doing that, please. And maybe because I'm in the GoToWebinar, don't it, Lauren? So you see, when it pops up, you see it says continue, where the email is. When you click that, it will start to populate some of the emails from your list, from your email, as well as if you click more options, it's going to give you more options as to how to add other things in your in other networks of persons to your LinkedIn followers, right? So it's not
And
cooperating with me
as
right now.
Joniel is
Sorry.
going through this, if you guys have questions, make sure to ask any
Yes.
questions that you have as well.
Oh, yes, please. And just feel them to me. So if you have any questions about this, especially, please do send it in the box right here and we'll answer it right away. So look very closely. I'm sure most people have never seen this or even navigated through this. When it cooperated with me and I click more options, you can either click in your email and click continue, and it will start to populate some of the names from your list in your email, or you can go to Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, AOL. You can even click invite by email. It gives you a quota, somewhere around 100 or 500 per day. And if you have emails on your list, meaning you have a emailing list from Aweber, Constant Contact, ClickFunnels, wherever you do your marketing, you can actually click this and add them. Let me see if it will allow me to do it here. All right. So you can add about 10 per route. So you could just say I'm putting in Alicia. Obviously, I'm not going to send Alicia an email. Alicia Little at Gmail and Laurent. Right? And then I would just select the type of invite I would like them to have. Make sure you put a comma after each section here and then the next. And if I was writing a third one, I'll put a comma and then the next, or else it will parse the data and not load it properly. Select which option you want to show them to invite. So if you want a more personalized option like this one that says, let's use LinkedIn to keep in touch more often. Or if you prefer to just use the default one that says, I'd like to add you to my professional network, then you select it and then click continue. All right. So it may seem simple. I can guarantee you that if you have a big enough list, or if you have a lot of persons in your general email, or if you have a lot of persons on some of your other social media that you can get their emails from, they will see this message come in. And especially if they're on LinkedIn already, or if they have the app, it would be very easy for them to just click it in their email and follow you on LinkedIn. So that's one trick that I know that some persons haven't quite been using, right?
Hey, Joniel, we do have one question here. The question
Yes,
is this approach with a free or a paid account?
this is a free account that you can use this for. The only restriction I can recall is that it only allows you a specific amount of adding of emails per day. It's somewhere between 100 and 500. Yeah. I've had it added so much per day sometimes that I stop counting, but it truncates it. It blocks it off after a certain time. But you just keep adding them over and over time, and you will be very pleased when you see this number starting to increase over time. All right. So that's from your current list. But what about the LinkedIn audience that is already on, the pages there? So another thing that some persons I don't think know is that when you navigate, remember I mentioned Nicole Brackett Walters, one of the marketers from our clients. When you click on their profile, you can actually go in. You see this part that says 500 connections? You can actually go in and click it. And you're going to see the connections that they have. Fascinating, isn't it? And because they are linked to you, and you can now look and see what type of person this is. Would this be somebody you can link with for business? You can click connect. Sometimes they ask you to add a note. Sometimes you can just send it away. I would like you to actually, when you click that, click add a note to make it more personal. You can create scripts for these, please. Something very personal. It cuts off the character limit at about 100, no, 300, as you can see here. But add something like, Hi, Beris. I see that you are a friend of my friend, Nicole, and I'd love to connect with you for business. That's all you have to say. And you just type it in, and then when you type it in, the send button will pop up and you click send. All right. So those are some other ways that you can start to connect with some persons on LinkedIn, and keep doing that consistently over time. You'd be surprised to see how your followers as well as the contacts on your page start to grow. The next thing I want to go through is ensuring that you post regularly on the page, as well as create a lot of variety of posts. So this is the post activity of Alicia Little. Hold on a second. What I didn't show you is that
Janelle, we have a question
actually,
here real quick.
yes.
So question, can you have more than one LinkedIn profile if you're working in unrelated areas?
Yes, you can, but I would not want persons to do that unless the image, if the image or maybe the brand is different, sure. But if it's the
So
same
unless it's
person,
completely different, then you can.
right. But if it's the same person, what I would recommend is that you create a fan page or a company page or groups that can segment persons. I'll get into it. It's the last thing I was supposed to get into. And you can segment different type of followers from your main page. All right. And I'll get to it.
Got it. Okay.
You think they got it from what I just said?
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
So she could have Alicia Little, and then she could segment it into whatever product
into a group
creation and something
or
else,
a
like
fan
different
page. Yeah.
followers.
So
Yeah.
look very closely right here. So when I click the me section and I click down, all right. So these are some pages that we manage, obviously, for companies. But Alicia, as you would have seen from our blurb, also owns Internet Income Jamaica and Pulse Social Media. So we created company pages for them. And you can now, when you're on, and I'll get back to it in a minute, but just because the person asked, you can now create another page, which is not quite a profile page, but just like on Facebook, where you have your regular page, as well as a fan page. Maybe you have a fan page specifically for your business. You can also do that on LinkedIn. All right. And there are other specific ways that you can use to grow followers and add some stuff, but I'll get into it near the end. All right. So what I wanted to get to next was the consistency of the posts. So what I didn't show you on Nicole's page, which is going to be important for you, is that when you go on any other person's page, before I go on to Alicia's page, you can actually scroll down. Okay. And when you click see all activity, you can actually see what Nicole was doing on her page and what she was posting and doing, right? And why I'm asking you to do that for the persons who are connected to you, or just like I showed you some of the interest from before and some of the pages of persons who are also doing things similar to you, you can get ideas and you can see what is in the space and you can repurpose your own content in similar ways. Additionally, because LinkedIn is a connective space, the persons who you know the most or persons who are in your sphere of your industry, search them up and go and just engage on the content or the topics that they have. I'll get back to that in a bit, right? But I just wanted to show you that you could do this. So Alicia's page now, and how you get to that is by clicking me, I'm going down to post an activity. You can see that you see all the comments and all the likes and all the stuff that you do on her page, as well
Hey,
as
Jonil.
articles. Yes.
Oh, just jumping in, Perry says that's great info. It's what I've been looking for. Thank you, Joe Neal. And Mary says I appreciate the help. So keep on going, Joe Neal.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm trying to put so many things in the little one over here, but just bear with me, please. All right. So articles, posts, documents. These are different things that you can put on your page when you are creating content, right? So I think the last article we did was something about Clubhouse. That was a while back, right? And I think another one was about Clubhouse right here. But what is fascinating about these is that not only can you repurpose content from your blogs or maybe your general videos, and maybe ask somebody to transcribe something and create an article out of it, but it does very well on LinkedIn because of the type of users that are there. Yeah, guys like, as you can see over here, Bill Gates, Jack Welch, and these persons are on these pages. And when they post there, and persons like Branson and Tony Robbins and the big names and the guys who move and shake in the different major industries in the world. And when they post something and post an article, it gets quite a lot of views and comments and stuff like that. So you know, I'm going to get to that, need to replicate that sort of activity and ensure that you are doing, oops, hold on a second. And ensure that you are doing the very similar things. So these are the things that you can do. You go to home when you want to make a post right here. You can post a photo or a video. You can even write an article just like I was just showing you, or you can create an event. All right. Now, I'm going to show you one or two other things you can do if you're actually going to create a company page, but we'll get to that at the last part. So ensure that you're doing that consistently enough to build up or generate some sort of interest in who you are or what you're doing, or the type of work that you do or the service that you provide. All right. One of the things that is not so much used, and I'm going to try to show, this is Terry Carroll, one of the hosts or TV presenters in Jamaica. Not sure the type of post that I'm seeing. But what tends to do well on LinkedIn are 2 or 3 types of posts. 1, educational type posts. 2, videos. Even the longer ones I'm realizing are getting, wow, that is so skillful. Look at that. Are getting a lot of views and likes. But generally speaking, trying to get your video somewhere between 1 and 2 minutes is about the sweet spot. And the other thing which I'm seeing doing very well, I'm not seeing any of those posts yet. I could find an example. Maybe I should look for Gary. Oops, spelled it wrong. Are these type of, got to spell it wrong again. Remember Gary's last name, Alicia, Laurette? Wow.
I do not.
And
Gary Vander.
he has such a funny
How do I
last
not
name.
know that? You guys should know it.
Type it to me so I can show it to you very quickly. See here, Vaynerchuk. Yes.
There it is. There you go.
Vaynerchuk
We do
Media.
have a quick question here. Andrew asks, how often would you suggest to post content?
Post content, it depends a lot on the person who is posting. So If it is that you are running a media house like Gary is, obviously you need to post like once a day or probably even 2 times for the day. If it is that you are more somebody who is, I don't know, maybe a business banker, or maybe somebody who is doing some sort of freelance work, maybe somewhere around 4 to 5 posts for the week would be a lot more manageable for you, right? But it all depends on you and what you're posting. But try for at least 1 post each day. But what I wanted to show you about Gary, I can find it. Not finding it. This is one of his videos. Another one of his videos. Let me see the amount of likes and comments and views this gets. This is what I wanted to show you. So what this is a type of a comic, or it's a document. You can post documents or write articles, I showed you, right? But what he did, or what I'm seeing, not only him, he was the first I saw doing it, but other persons doing is kind of create a storyboard type of thing out of it. And when you click it, it slides to the next slide like this. Let me try to show the entirety. And goes to the next slide and the next slide like this, right? And usually he uses it in a kind of fun way to either teach a lesson about something or to show something about some, I don't know, some marketing thing he's doing, or some, you know, or some interesting thing that he has been doing in that week. And he posts a lot of these videos that are fairly short and sweet, but it has these nuggets of information that when you're scrolling, as you click this, would I be able to hear this if I turn this on? You'll hear it very quickly, and you can see these words pop up, right? So if you have the time and if you have the outsourcing to get somebody to do it, you can create these little very short videos and ensure you have the words that pop up. Because people are so, you realize I had to turn this on so you could actually hear what was happening. If you could hear it, I'm not sure if you could. This is usually off on default. So when persons are scrolling, they're not going to actually hear, but they will see what whoever it is, this is Gary, of course, is saying while the video is playing. So that's a little trick that persons have when they're posting on this platform. All right. So that is in terms of ensuring that we post regularly, and we have articles and we have documents and all sorts of things to engage with our audience. So the next thing now is a system that Alicia, insisted on, which was a kind of engagement and linking with the target audience system, which is a way to ensure that people who come onto your page or who like what you have been posting keep engaged and keep coming back onto your page or commenting back to you in some way. So I'm going to call this the engage your audience strategy. So what it is that, and I'm hoping that you also do this on your other social media, right? This notification section, which I'm sure some of you may see but don't really utilize, is very important. Because when you click it, it shows you the details of everything that has been going on with your different persons who you connected to. And it also shows you 1 or 2 other things that are specific to LinkedIn. So for example, somebody may start a new position, which is what this is, or they may have a birthday coming up, or they may have changed their role every time somebody changes something or does something that is in your network, it tends to pop up. But the 3 or 4 major things that you normally see in this section are persons starting up a new position, persons creating a new role for themselves or generating a new role in their organization, as well as birthdays, right? And you see all of that here. And I am going to kindly ask that you do click these. This is a new position. Click say congrats. You don't have to say much else. You're gonna say congrats on the new role. And just go ahead and do that for every person who pops up on your profile. So obviously I'm gonna go back and do that. But this is the starting new position. These are the birthdays. The default is happy birthday and then the person's name. So you see it actually defaults and has it already there. So it's fairly it may be a bit once you get your follower count up a little, but you have to ensure that you go and do this as you just go in and do it daily as quickly as possible. And what happens is these persons tend to message you back to say, okay, hi Alicia, how are you? Thank you for telling me happy birthday. And you may even start to engage them in a conversation. Or maybe they forgot about something you had showed them before, and then they tend to go back on your profile. And this is how this number, persons who viewed your profile, can continue to stay consistent. So that's one thing in this notification section. The other thing, which I'm going to go through later, is the activity that is happening on your different groups and pages. The other thing, which is also in here, are persons who are replying to you directly on your personal page, as well as commenting on other posts. Remember, I showed you something like that before, of persons who they follow, right? So when you see these things pop up here, try to go in and actually comment back. So apart from the birthdays, the new positions, new roles, obviously I'm going to show you the pages part in a bit. Look for when persons reshare your posts and just click it back and make a comment, something like, thank you for sharing my post. This is Lunston Brian, one of our students. Thank you for sharing our post, Lunston, right? And when somebody comments on something that you created, obviously you can comment back and engage the audience. That's one set of things. The other thing now is, remember I spoke about the interests that you clicked and the groups that you joined and the pages that you followed. Now, when you start to build up your network and the other persons you added to your audience and your lists that you added in the section right here, and the other contacts that you connected with, now they're gonna pop up in this section. And the reason why you connected with them is to now engage with them. So you look at what they've posted, and what we try to do is comment back about 10 to 20 times on, well, obviously not every post, but each post you comment on one of them about 10 or 20 times every day, as well as what we were doing in the notification section. And you will be surprised by how over time this section here about your profile being viewed, as well as the inbox, obviously I went in and cleared it since there a little bit, will start to explode with persons commenting back to you, as well as viewing your profile. And this, apart from what I showed you in terms of how to add persons to your network, is probably one of the most important things that you can start to do. Because persons tend to, they create the page, they post the content, and then that's it. But the whole point of a social media network, which is what LinkedIn is, no matter how professional it is to engage and collaborate and start to interact with the audience and the followers that you have. So the next thing that you're going to see here is where I say build relationships with current followers. And from the notifications and the engaging with the audience is where these things will start to happen. All right. So if you're jotting notes, these are the important points to jot down from this section. Ensure that you add persons from your general email as well as your email list. Ensure that you also add persons who you know specifically from your Facebook and your other social media platforms. Then now you search for persons who you think you would like to engage in from your industry and follow either their personal pages and or their work company pages. Then when the activity starts to happen, 10 to 20 times start to engage on posts on your page every day. And then go in your notifications and comment back every time somebody has some new positions that have occurred for them in their lives, as well as new roles, as well as happy birthdays that need to be celebrated, as well as persons who are resharing your posts and commenting on your posts, as well as the activities on any pages that you create. And I'll get to that in a little bit. All right. So it may seem tedious. And of course, that's why you probably may need to have dedicated persons to do it, depending on your workload and what's happening with you, yes? But it is so important because this is where the engagement and the followership and all the things that are happening on this will start to explode. The next thing I want to get to, do we have any other questions from there, Laurette? I hope you guys are understanding where I'm getting with this.
Yep, we have two questions.
Yes,
you were
please.
showing a slideshow. The question was what software was used for the slideshow?
Oh, this? It's just Google Slides.
Is this what
Just
you
Google
were?
Slides.
I don't know if that's what he was referring to. Maybe I missed
Oh, maybe he was talking about Gary's thing. I'm not sure, but I know that there are professional persons who could use Canva or maybe Photoshop to create that. All they would have done is created a PDF document that they would have added as an article or something right here. And then it would create a slide. It's really from a company page, all right? And I'll show you on that section.
Okay, and then question. Go ahead.
Yeah. Or it is that you can, you can probably even use this PowerPoint that I'm showing you here and create a PDF document from what you have, and then you put it in there. But I'll show you where you put it on a company page to get that type of slide. What was the second question, Laurette?
Okay, how much time a day do you recommend to spend on LinkedIn?
Wow, that is a brilliant question. Again, it also depends on the person and the type of engagement that they're getting.
All right.
Right. So what I try to do is, as the day starts, obviously this is the ideal I'm telling you right now. As the day starts, I go in, bam, lick all the notifications off as best as I can, and answer all the messages that are there as best as I can. It usually takes me somewhere between, it depends, somewhere between an hour or an hour and a half, as well as the comments that I make on the comments here. It depends on the day, right? And that is a start. But remember, you also have to be thinking of creating probably 1 or 2 articles per month, as well as starting to create a post or so a day on the page, right? So,
and Joe Neal, I think it really also depends on how much you put into it is how much you want to get out of it, right? So
right.
If you're spending all day on it, well, obviously you're going to rock it and you're going to get and grow tremendously, but I think at minimum, set aside a specific time frame in your day and be like, okay, from 8 to 9, I'm focusing on LinkedIn and do all your LinkedIn stuff. But once again, it's up to you. The more time you put into it, the more return that you're more than likely going to get.
And isn't it the same with anything in life, Lawrence? Every time you put
Exactly.
in, the amount of time and effort you put into something is the result that you're gonna see. So
Right.
I hope that answers what was her name? Question as best as possible.
Okay, wait, we have another more question. So, first of all, Andrew's saying amazing value. Really appreciate this session. Perry says excellent presentation. Make sure you thank Joe Neal. Have a wonderful weekend.
Oh Lord, oh yes.
Let's see. We have, oh, Janice says, I have a day job and I'm also starting a business. Do I keep my personal account for my day job and set up another LinkedIn account for my business? I think that's what you were kind of showing before with the different pages.
Yes, I'm going to show the company page in the next part. So yes, you can create both the profile page as well as have the company page. And I'll show you the value of having a company page in a bit. Is there any other question?
One more. It says, can you comment on that appropriateness of that grandmother post on LinkedIn? It looks like it should be a Facebook
I didn't
post.
realize that was there. This 70-year-old. Oh wow. But
I
if you
think
can
she's
look,
just saying it's not
this
really appropriate
this
for
page
LinkedIn.
has so many followers, of course, because of the nature of the type of posts that they make. So this says this 70-year-old grandmother spent an entire year cleaning up 52 beaches in the UK. Drop a like for her. So generally speaking, yeah, on LinkedIn, it's more for persons who are doing business-based stuff or serious B2B business. But now and again, you will see some of these type of posts pop up, and it's really because the content creator, or if you can see, look how many followers this page has, or the company page is trying to get some engagement or get some excitement going around what they do for the day, right? But you can see why this person posted this, because the name of their
Right.
page is Everyday Heroes. Follow us
Exactly.
for amazing stories. So it
So it's
depends on
relevant
what you're doing.
to what they're doing,
Right.
which Diana was just saying that too. It's relevant to the name of Everyday
Mhm,
Heroes.
mhm, mhm.
All right. Yes.
All right. All
All
right.
right, good. And then somebody was saying, how many contact and connections does Alicia now have as a result of your great work? Well, I can attest that before Joe Neal stepped in, Alicia had her LinkedIn account, but she was not dedicating any time to it. Like she would every once in a while go on there and just basically kind of ignoring it. So it was growing on its own, but having no attention. And then Joe Neal came in and he manages it. So I don't know if you know, Joe Neal, how much it's grown since you took it over, but it's definitely not
Yeah.
only has it grown, but it's getting the attention that it needs. Like people would send questions and requests for speaking and wanting to be a
Right.
client and this, and they would just be ignored because she wasn't monitoring it. So not
Mm,
only has it grown, but it's also helped as far as financially as well, as far as like booking speaking slots, getting new clients,
shall we get to
building
next?
relationships better,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff as well. So it's definitely made a
Mm.
huge difference since Joe Neal took over.
Yeah. Thanks for the big up, Lauren. So, and it was really in an attempt to ensure that we covered all the bases. We had now gone remote as a set of workers, and Alicia had all these different social media networks. But we realized like the LinkedIn or maybe the Twitter wasn't as engaged as it could be. So it was fascinating to me to see as we started to utilize the platform, just as Lauren said, how many messages came in. I probably get a message at least every other day asking about some podcast that they think they can come to or some event, or somebody asking about a product. I was very fortunate today that we got somebody who luckily had some difficulty with a previous thing that we were doing, and I was able to assist them. So I'll get to the inbox in a bit. So these areas, which I'll get to next, the messages and the inbox are very important because it acts as a customer service tool for you and your company and what you're doing. People tend, you know, they like the personal touch. So they probably not email you, or maybe they will and they don't get through. So they get a little frustrated and they go on your social media. And every business owner knows this. And tries to then either comment on your post or inbox you, DM you, to try to get something happening for, just something that was going on with them for that day. And apart from building up your repertoire of persons who you can go and connect with, as well as gain speaking engagements in Alicia's business, obviously, when you start engaging with people and using the pages, the messaging section, the inbox will become important for you to handle and assist with persons who have issues, who need customer service attention. All right. So the next thing I want to get to, luckily they asked that question, is to use the inbox to close meetings, deals, services, and sales offers. Right. Most of these are just stuff I was speaking to persons today on. So this is a messaging section, what it looks like. But geez, I'm never going to find the one I'm looking for. But each day, you saw the amount of persons who are on the page. Quite a numerous amount of persons, apart from who you engage with, from what I was seeing in the notifications and in on the home page, will connect with you to try to find out details about you or what you're doing, or if you can assist them, or generally speaking, if they can assist you. And this also is going to be very important. What I see people doing, and if you're doing this, please stop. It's to, before they even say, hi, how are you doing? Or what's happening with you today, or even to comment on anything on your page or have engaged with you before, the first thing they do is to send you a pitch with something in the inbox, like say, hi, my name is such and such and such. I am a freelance such and such and such. If you need to, get your website done, you can reach out to me, such and such and such. Please do not do that. And I don't know how much I can stress that. Stick to the tried and true method of using your notifications, building up the audience. Then, when you have spoken to some persons and done some things with them over a period of time, not only can you now reach out to them and it will look like a normal conversation, because obviously you've been interacting with them before, right? But you will be surprised that people start to just inbox you to get the assistance for the things that you were talking about on your page. So I think I posted once about something that Internet Income Jamaica does, and there were a flood of different things that were happening. Another thing that you can do to use this inbox is to ensure that when you go on to any sort of program or podcast, or do a webinar with a friend of yours, or your own webinar, or you do, I don't know, something on Clubhouse, or you stream live on Facebook, tell them to come and connect with you on LinkedIn. Alicia started to do that to great, benefit. And every time there's an event, there's a flood of different persons. When I click network right here, persons who click connect will pop up. Obviously, I cleared all of them since they would come up right here. Oops. And then you have to either ignore them or click accept, right? And that on its own, once you are out there in the online or the offline world doing some things, will cause persons to start to connect with you. It pops up here in the messages as well, where the person says, hi, my name is such and such. Would you want to connect with you? Why? because of what I showed with you when I clicked. Remember when I clicked Nicole's profile, and then I clicked connect, and then inside it I added a note. It comes into your inbox and you can see it and connect and collaborate with the person. So ensure that you do that on your end as well when you're connecting with persons. And the next thing you need to do now is create some sort of script. So obviously you're not going to just copy and paste it all the time and make it look verbatim, but at least have a list of some of the places that you can meet people. Maybe you have a Calendly, account, or maybe an activity scheduling account, or maybe it is that you do meetings with persons on Zoom or something like that. No, when they connect with you on your inbox, or when you start to talk to some people and all of a sudden they say, so what you do? And then you say, oh, I know I do this, and say, I do this. And then they say, all right, I wonder if you can assist me with such and such a thing. You can now schedule them to come onto your calendar and book an appointment with you for a business meeting, or to go into your Facebook rooms, or you give them your WhatsApp number and you talk to them even more closely, or maybe you add them to a Zoom call to talk about business, close some sales, and do some other things. Or maybe they just want a very direct answer, don't really want a discussion, and you can just send them a link to one of your pages, and there they can go and they purchase your product or order your service, or some other thing that you have going on with you as a business. This is where the thing starts to happen. You may have seen some persons make comments to these things online, and you wonder how it is that it starts to happen. This is where it happens. And it doesn't happen by just jumping on the platform and just sending a random person random messages saying, here, my name is such and such, do such and such. Would you want to do such and such with me? It's a relationship that you're building. And over time, as your followers increase, as the views on your page increase, as you build out your content and some of the things that you add each day, it will automatically start to do its thing organically. And persons will reach out to you, and you will start to talk to people, and then they'll talk back to you, and you will generate the leads. You will generate persons who want to do things with you, or who want to purchase one of your services. So is there any question on that?
No questions right now.
All right. So try to make it as natural as possible. Don't force it. Sales it has some psychology behind it, yes? It's almost as if you're dating a girl. Oh my Lord, can I say these things on these things? Lord?
Sorry, Janelle, I missed that. Say that again.
No, I was about to go into an analogy about dating a girl. Can I say these things on these streams?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll be as professional as possible.
Go
What I
ahead.
mean is, when you're dating a girl, you're not gonna just go up and say, "Hi, my name is such. Let us go out," and you give all of your life story and say, tomorrow let us have some children and get married. It doesn't go like that, does it? You date them, you court them, you go out, over time your personality starts to be shown. You you know you you learn each other's quirks and idiosyncrasies. You give some of your personality and your personal life. You show them your family over time. You build a relationship, and then it starts to get serious, and then you may have kids and you may marry, which is, in the sales term, closing the deal, right? So please,
Exactly.
I don't know how more I can stress this. Don't rush into the person's inbox. You know the term what them say? What's the term, Lauren? Jump into the DM. Is that what they say? Or
Yeah.
I can't remember the term they use. Please don't do that. All right. Use the tools that are there as best as you can to be the professional face of the company that you are serving. All right. So the next thing that we have here is use pages and groups to segment followers. So hold on, let me just shift something on my screen. How you create these pages and groups is in this work section of your LinkedIn. When you click work, you can either create groups or you can scroll down and there's something here that says create a company page. Right? We have how much time do I have left, Laurette?
You have as much time as you need to finish your outline here, Joniel.
All right, cool. So I was actually going to point you to something that we have done already where we outlined the entirety of creating a company page. But let me just show you it very quickly. So when you click this, it's going to ask you to either add yourself as an educational institution, small business, medium to large business, and so forth. And when you go through the process, it starts to allow you to populate information on a page, just like you would a fan page on Facebook, or just like it did with your profile page. But of course, in this case, it is specific to a specific business. When it is created and published, it pops up. When you click this profile picture and you scroll down, for example, if I want to go to Internet Income Jamaica, you will see our page here. And just like the profile page or your personal page, you have to have a banner, right? And you also have to have a profile picture. And you also have to have a blurb underneath the business name in relation to what you do, as well as the type of business or the industry, as well as the location. Right? So one of the things that we're currently promoting is something we are in collaboration with one of our clients who has also offered some scholarships for persons in Jamaica. And we just posted it on the page right here, right? But what I want to show you is, unlike the profile page, sorry, when you are on the company page, you can do this thing here, which is called a poll. And you can also add documents and articles. You can also add articles as the page that you are on. So when you're adding these polls, oops, it loads, you can utilize specific questions. You know, on LinkedIn, there are one or two things, or maybe two or three things that persons tend not to use too much. That includes the polls. If you have the app for LinkedIn, you get access to LinkedIn stories, which obviously you're not seeing here. As well as you can, over time, look and see in your analytics and the activity section, the type of persons who are, I'll get to that in a bit, the type of persons that are following you, industries that they're in, and just like Facebook, just like Instagram, just like YouTube, also advertise to this segmented type of interest or group. And that is a much longer thing to speak of, the advertising, but let's just stick to this part here for today. All right. So the poll, I wish I could show my mobile phone, but unfortunately I can't on this, can I? creating a poll. You can write, just like any poll on maybe Twitter. This is more Twitter similar than the one that you have on Facebook. On Facebook, you can actually add a picture with the options, but obviously this is LinkedIn. So suppose I wanted to say which one of the program that we're currently promoting is the Level Up grant program. Which one of the Level Up grants?
Correct. Yeah.
Courses. Yes.
Yeah.
Which one of the Level Up grant courses would you prefer? Maybe it's a better term. Prefer.
So just a little bit of background with our company, Internet in Costa Rica. Right now we have a grant that we're offering to people. So now Jonelle is just creating a poll because it's relevant to what we're doing with this particular company.
Right.
Get paid to type, maybe.
Oh. Yes. There are quite a lot of them. There are actually 16 of them. Obviously, you're not going to put all of them, right? But I'm just showing you how it operates. And then when you've completed that, you can add quite a few options. You can even create the duration of how long the poll runs. Just let this run for a week, right? And then you click done. And let me show you what. All right. And you can see this here. You can now create a caption. I'm just going to rewrite the same thing if you will allow me to copy it. Right. And this is one not so used thing on the platform. Whenever people see it, they tend to gravitate towards to utilize it. And obviously over time, when the votes come in, you can see the results and you can, even see what type of votes the person's had and so forth. The other thing that is interesting about this company page, you see this thing that says view as member. Let me show you what happens. I'm not sure if you've ever gone on a company page on LinkedIn before, but when the person lands on your page, they can see not only the posts that you made, but the stuff that you put in when you started over here that tell you about the page, like an overview of the page, where it's located and things like that, as well as the people in your organization. These people would have clicked. You see, remember when we were here? Whoops, I don't think I'll go to it. When you're on your profile and you saw me click through here and added, well, obviously these were already added, but these you would need to add them. No, when you're on the page and you go to people, the different persons who have added this company as either part of their network or doing something with it or a job, it will pop up there. So these are different persons, of course, right, who are associated with IAJ in some way. And I hope you see where I'm going with this. So when you go on any person's interested page, remember I was talking about adding persons from industries and places that you like or know of, or that are associated with what you do. You can navigate to the people, and just like you were trying to do when you were connecting with others, you can now click them and connect with them and start to build relationships with persons in your like-minded industry. Yeah. And this is something that people, I don't think, utilize as much, even when they're trying to make connections on LinkedIn. All right. So let me switch back to the admin view. So article writing is just like the article writing on the other page, right? Meaning the profile page. You have to create a headline, meaning the topic. You also have to put in a cover photo, and you also have to put in words in relation to whatever the article is that you're writing. All right. And there's a publishing menu that has all sorts of things there that you can use to create your article, just like a word processing platform. I'm switching back to the main part of the page. So how this becomes powerful is that you can actually invite persons. You realize this says admin tools right here to the page as connections. You have about 50 of these. You can 50 to 100 of these that you can do per month. Or just like I was showing you for advertisement, you can sponsor specific posts on the platform to specific interests and persons who are there who you believe would be interested in what you're doing. You can also create an event, or you can create what they call a more detailed or showcased page on LinkedIn, which is basically just a hypered company page, which is this showcase page right here. All right. So, and just like we have, you could see a lot of different persons who are connected to us in different ways. You now can go in here and add different persons with different role functions, just like you can on Facebook. Different persons can be administrators, editors, analysts, and so forth on the page, right? So this is another way that you can now segment some of the followers that you have, connect with them a little bit more intimately, and do some things in relation to what you want to tailor for their taste. I'm going back to the main or the home page right here. There are some groups right here. If you are on your LinkedIn, know how to navigate through it. Apart from the top menu and the things that I've been showing you, there is a left menu that has some of the stuff that we were going through before, including the pages that you have, a little bit of updates on the profile views and the video views and stuff for that day, and recent things that you have clicked on, groups, events that you've gone to, and so forth, and hashtags that you follow. So these groups are some groups that we created or are following for different reasons. And just like the fan page, which I showed you in IIJ, you can also come here and connect with different persons over a period of time and build up a more segmented or targeted audience for the type of things that you are promoting. So that is basically what I have for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for being with me. I think I've gone up at least an hour by now. I hope it was engaging for you. I tried to make it as complete as possible. Obviously, that is not all that is to LinkedIn, but I just wanted to give as best an overview as possible on the main parts of ensuring you build your page correctly, and then starting to engage with persons, and then trying to get those sales, trying to get those deals going, trying to get some of your services shown, and trying to get your products sold. You business owners are, the plus of any industry, of any country, because it is small businesses, it is persons who go out and create things in their nations, in their countries, that start economies growing and start things happening. So please do. Use LinkedIn to the best of your abilities. Please do. Build your relationships and continue to be great, 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 great business leaders. Thank you, Laurette. Thank you for having
Awesome,
me,
Joe
guys.
Neal. You're getting so many great compliments. Helen says, wonderful to be part of this session. Diana, thank you, very helpful. Lori says, I learned a lot. Now I got to put it to work. Just a lot of thanks, a lot of praises. So thanks again, Joe Neal. One question. Oh, so
Yes.
Victoria, I will answer that in a minute. Just a lot of thank yous.
You're welcome, everybody. I really appreciate the time coming on.
And all right, so we also have a LinkedIn. Alicia did a LinkedIn training as well. A lot of you already have it that are on this training, but if you don't, I will send it out with the replay. It's similar to what Joe Neal went over today, but it's just a little bit more. And I think there's a workbook that goes with it as well.
Yes.
I think it's like $47. I mean, it's a just a short little course that she created. So when I send out the replay, I will send that with it as well if you're interested in learning more and taking LinkedIn a little bit more. But thank you again, Joe Neal. People got a lot of value from this, and that will go out in the replay. And that's it. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Next week. Thanks again, Joe Neal.
Oh, all right, cool.
All right.
I was going to ask you something, but I'll leave it for.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was wondering, do you still have the LinkedIn Jumpstart option for persons?
We do. So I'll send out all the LinkedIn related things that we have in the replay.
All right. Guys, awesome. It was a great day. Please continue to be excellent business persons.
Yes, and people are loving your energy as well, Joe Neal. So thanks again, and thank you for all that you've done for the LinkedIn account as well.
All right.
All right. Okay, thank you, Joe Neal. All right, everybody, take care.